of course, I'm just full of foolishness. When the kids would cry, I want this, I want that, I'd say, the great prophet Micadiah Jagariah said, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. She came home one day from church crying. So, what's wrong? Daddy, Sunday school teacher asked us to stand and quote our favorite verse. And I quoted Micadiah Jagariah, verse 1, that verse. And it embarrassed me to death. I said, well, honey, I figured by now you know it's a joke. You're 20 years old. Good grief. She's a tripper. For this next little joke, I need some audience participation. I'm going to give you a setup, and then you're going to say, did y'all ever go on a date? Did y'all ever go on a date? Repeat it, okay? Did y'all ever go on a date? Here's the setup. When I was in high school, there was a girl whom I loved so much. Every time I passed her locker, I kissed it.
Did y'all ever go on a date?
No, it was bolted to the wall. Snuck up on you. Snuck up on you. I was on staff at a little Baptist church, and preacher said, Ron, I want you to go out here and introduce yourself, and encourage the ministry of the youth, and so on and so forth. So, okay. I made it down to Sister Jackson, 95 years old, the oldest member of the Mudflat Baptist Church.
Did y'all ever go? She's the next comedian.
She's good. She's better than you. So, that's because she's younger, I guess, right? So anyway, where was I? I made you. You can't do that stuff to me. I forget where I am. Yeah. Well, as we sat there drinking coffee and cookies, I noticed that there's 4 identical 8x10 pictures of her on the wall, and with 4 different men, obviously on a wedding day, and she's getting progressively older from left to right. And I said, Sister Jackson, tell me about that. My first husband was a banker. We had many happy years, and he died. My second husband, he was a very famous stage and screen actor from back in the day. We had many happy years, and he died. Third husband was a mortician. We had many happy years, and he died. Last husband, I'm saying it backwards. My third husband was a preacher. That's what you get for upsetting me, okay? Where am I? Third husband was a preacher. We had many happy years, and he died. Fourth husband was an undertaker. We had many happy years, and he died. I said, that's very interesting. She said, yes, Brother Ron, I married 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. Oh, my stars. Okay, I'm going to tell this story very, very quickly. There's 2 holiness preachers in Mudflat. One believed in handling snakes, and the other did not. And they were twins. Their name was Luther T. and Jacob Poley. Now, Jacob did not believe in handling snakes. Luther T. believed in handling snakes. They could not have a family reunion where these 2 guys were there because Luther T. would scream at Jacob, Jacob, you're not right with the Lord unless you handle snakes. After church one Sunday morning, Jacob was down at the altar cleaning up the Kleenexes. If the holiness people ever stopped crying at the altar, the Kleenex come and go out of business. So he cleaned them things up, and he looked up and saw the door open, and coming down the center aisle was Luther T. carrying a wooden box. Now, what they do, they put those moccasins in the wooden box. He took that mother moccasin out of that wooden box. She's already mad anyway because she wasn't there with her babies. He ran his hand down to the end of that tail and began to pop his brother on the back of the head as his brother began to run around inside that church, screaming at the top of his lungs, popping him on the back of the head, popping him. Finally, Jacob made a complete circle, stumbled and fell right there right where he was. Looked up and said, please, Luther T., don't hit me with that snake. Luther T. felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned around and he was looking down the barrel of a .22 pistol held in the shaky, nervous hands of Sister Doris, Jacob's wife. She'd been back in the back counting the money's receipts. And she said, Luther T., brother-in-law or not, you better drop that snake or I'm dropping you. Well, Luther T. heard a word from the Lord, and it said, you better get out of here. He dropped that highly agitated and confused moccasin right there, run up the aisle. At the same time, Sister Doris went, bam, 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 bam. Luther T. dove under the pew, knocking his dumb self out. Sister Doris walked up, nudged him. The still smoking gun was in her hand. He rolled over. Please, Sister Doris, don't shoot me. She said, I'm not going to shoot you. You will wish I had shot you. You know what you've done? What? You have pee-peed on the very spot where your itsy-bitsy, teensy-weensy, holiness mother has rested her feet for the past 85 years. You better give your soul to the Lord, because the rest of you is going to belong to your mama. And that is the somewhat true story of the holy, roly-poly family feud. Years ago, as we say back in the day, there was a man in Cartersville named Red Greene. I never knew his real name. Red Greene. Green like the color. Red Greene. Red was a black man. Got a black man whose name is Red Greene. Everybody thought that Red was a little bit on the simple-minded side. Kind of made fun of him. And on Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon, he would come downtown Cartersville and he would clean the windows of the businesses. One Saturday afternoon, he was squeezing the First National Bank of Cartersville, and a car pulled up. Pardon me, sir, do you know where the Cartersville Church of God is? Now, at that time, Red could have walked in about 5 or 8 minutes to the Cartersville Church of God. Back in the day, churches were identified with a prominent man. Pointing to the Episcopal Church way up on West Main Street, he said, that is the church of Dr. John Jones, very famous physician. Pointing to the Presbyterian Church, he said, that be the church of Judge John Cowan, very famous judge. Pointing up to Sam Jones United Methodist Church, he said, that be the church of Mr. Jimmy Dellinger, one of the most wealthy men in Georgia. He said, go a little bit further, turn left. He pointed to the Baptist church. That be the church of Mr. Ron Greene, that famous comedian. Then he scratched his head and he said, I don't think God has a church here in Cartersville. So the thought I want to leave y'all with tonight, can it be said that Prospect United Methodist Church is indeed a church of God? As we say in the Baptist church, that'll preach, brother. That will preach. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed it.